Hello and welcome. I am Katrina Pratt Roebuck, and I am the founder and CEO of Uplifme. Uplifme is a national resource hub of information that addresses the social determinants of health, and we also highlight the great work of organizations in Philadelphia. So today I have with me Mel Wells, who is the President and Chief Executive Officer of One Day at a Time. So Mel, welcome, and thank you very much for being here.
Thank you so much, Katrina, for having me. It's a pleasure. Anytime I can show up for you, I'm gonna be here.
No, thank you. So, Mel, tell us about ODAAT and the work that you do.
Well, first of all, I have to give honor to God, my mother, and my father. ODAAT turns 41 years old this year. We just had a celebration about a week ago. This was started off by my mother and my father years ago, right out of their home. My father was addicted to all kind of drugs. I had a good praying mother who I lost actually to COVID about 4 years ago. She hung in there with my father, made sure he went to detox right here in the city of Philadelphia on 8th and Girard. He heard a song called One Day at a Time. There was a book in his room. He called my mom home and said, I want to bring home a friend, which we call peer support now, so they both can get off of drugs together. But who knew that would turn into 57,000 people a year, now located in London, India, and Cambodia, all through the work of my mother and my father. I still work for them. Their spirit is still here.
Wow, that's amazing. And I had no idea that One Day at a Time had such a broad reach. That's incredible. So can you talk a little bit about how people access the organization services here and abroad?
Yeah, well, word of mouth, a lot of social media, a lot of media. We thank God for the city of Philadelphia. They back us up a lot when it comes to even the media, the news, the radio. A lot of people hear about us through that. Word of mouth. People can walk in off the street to any one of our locations. We're located all throughout the city. Number one, what I really love is our outreach teams. We will go out to the problem. We go out every day under our funders of DBH, OAS, and we have teams that hit the streets 7 days a week in some of the hardest hit areas of the city that a lot of people don't like to go, like K&A. And what I would highlight is that we find some of our best people in some of the worstest places they may say, quote unquote, get them clean and sober, and they go back out and they get their friend, just like my father brought his friend home.
Wow, that's amazing. So in terms of the services that you all provide, I'm assuming you provide outpatient services. What other types of
Mhm.
services could one
Yeah.
benefit
So
from?
So again, we're a recovery organization, but we don't just specialize in drug and alcohol recovery. We do ex-offender recovery, homeless recovery, the drug and alcohol recovery. And now the services that have grown out of that are outreach services. We have two different outreach teams that go out 7 days a week. We have a landscaping team for ex-offenders, a street team for ex-offenders, respite sites for ladies to take a break just for the night. They come in and get off the street. We have shelters. We have homeless sites as well, and recovery houses as well. HIV and AIDS testing, HIV and AIDS pharmaceutical medication. We have food banks, and we're welcome down to our new youth family mode. Youth family mode is about the whole family that has been affected through drug use or through some type of line of gun violence or violence on the streets.
So I'm aware professionally of the work that you all do in homeless services and substance use services. I had no idea about the reentry services and the youth services. So can you talk a little bit about the youth and family services? What does that entail?
Well, the youth and family, what happens is, drugs and alcohol can be a generational thing as well. And
Mm-hmm.
so what we decided to do is take the youth on as well, and also the grandmom or the dad who's home who has been affected. What we have
Mm-hmm.
learned is that those who have been infected with the drug and alcohol disease, that the family is always affected. And knowing it because my father was addicted to all kind of drugs as well, that it could be a generational curse. And one thing we do is we work with the entire family to take away that stigma. And what we like is that we may help a father out who needs to get off of drugs, to get housing and get permanent housing. Then we find out he has a teenage son. Then we get to hook him up in our youth program. And then we get to find out that grandma may need food at home because she's been taking care of the teenager and her son all her life. And so we let them have our food bank as well. So we do something called holistic approach. And once you become a member of ODAAT, we look at you as family. Your whole entire family is family.
That's really wonderful. And I think that what you're highlighting is not highlighted enough. And that is when someone has a substance use disorder or any type of challenge, it affects the entire family. So I really
Yeah.
appreciate the work that you all are doing. So I feel like that's something that I didn't know before. But tell us if there's anything else that you think is really important that the public should know that they might not know about ODAT.
Well, we're the founders of Same Day Pay here in the city of Philadelphia. So we came up with same day pay. One thing that we're doing now is that we have taken same day pay to the penitentiary. We have a great partnership with PIC institution, with the men's side and the women's side, where people are actually able to receive services before they come home. We're actually able to do trauma classes. And what do I mean by same day pay? So whether you're incarcerated or not incarcerated, we can get you help for that day. If you go out and do some work for ODAAT or even listen to one of our classes for about 4 hours, you receive $100 right there on the spot. As you know, city of Philadelphia is a place where we do outreach. A lot of different agencies do outreach, but it's hard to do empty-handed outreach. So you kind of need an incentivized outreach, and I really love it. And so we have people now who are coming home, who are moving right into the biz of one day at a time, who are actually getting jobs at one day at a time and going back home to take care of their families. So that's one of the biggest highlights that we started under Council President Clark. And because of that, and partners under PHS, 500 people have permanent jobs now as well.
Wow. So the Philadelphia Horticultural Society, when you say
Yes,
PHS,
yes, the
can you
team
talk
over there.
can you talk a little bit more about same day pay for people who might not know what same day pay is? Can you talk about what it is and how someone can get connected to same day pay?
Well, same day pay is an incentive program that we came up with ourselves because we have to go onto the streets, and what's way better way to get people to listen than when you got money, that you have an opportunity. A lot of people go and do outreach and they say, well, you get this service number one, you get this service number two, you get this service number three. What we say is we need you to help us right now. And by providing that kind of service for that individual, they actually have open eyes and listening ears. And then what winds up happening for those who are in need, let's just pick the area of Kensington, Allegheny. That's just the setup. The $100 is the setup for you to listen up. And so we can get you up and off the streets. The way that we do same day pay, we do a lot of it through social media. We have links on our website. You also can call in. We have a waiting list for same day pay. But when we actually run out of room on our waiting list, we have plenty of partners throughout the city of Philadelphia, Nicetown CDC, PHS, and a lot of other organizations who are also doing same day pay as well.
And so, okay, so if someone engages with same day pay and you're engaging them with the other services that you have, how are you connecting them to the Horticultural Society, and are you connecting people to other jobs? Can you talk a little bit about that
Yeah.
transition?
So we connecting people right here to jobs at ODAAT. So you can get a peer support job. We can find out that you have skills. Everybody on the street, a lot of them people out that you see that are homeless have college degrees. They just need to be put to use. They need to be put to work. And another reason why we do this too, Katrina, what I really want to highlight is because of the gun violence here in the city of Philadelphia. Instead of and I started this out maybe years ago before COVID, 3 teenagers robbed a lady and snatched her pocketbook, and they murdered a lady for her pocketbook. The lady ain't had $1 in the pocketbook. So instead of people going out like that, we want people to call one day at a time. We can really help you out of the poverty mindset. So that's some of the things why it was designed to combat drug use, to help get incentivized to get people up and off the streets, and to also help combat the gun violence and robberies and things on the street.
Yeah, and the reason why I went into the questions I did around same day pay is because you are trying to get at the root of the problem, right? So I appreciate that ODAAT does substance use services for folks, helps folks that are reentering, but you're also trying to get at the root of the problem and
Yeah.
incentivizing folks to help them to take a different path. And so really appreciate the thoughtfulness within which you are providing solutions for people. So thank you very
Thank you.
much for sharing that. Can you talk a little bit about perhaps what you are seeking to accomplish in this coming year, 2025?
Well, I want to be able to at least double the size of one day at a time. So
Mm,
right now we service over 57,000 individuals. And what I'm doing is I want to double the size by the people that we reach out to. The people that everybody gave up on and think they don't have the solution, they're the ones. They know what the poison is like out there. And a lot of times you have to take the venom from the snake to actually cure individuals. So I want to take those same individuals that we taking off the street to help me go and get more individuals by doubling our sites, by doubling our outreach teams and doubling our services, but most of all, having much more bigger impact in our community so people know that help is here. Not just if you are on drugs, not just if you're homeless, but if you're a family affected by it, but you're an ex-offender. One of our ex-offender street team programs, they have about 30 people who work for them. And these are guys who actually come in and off the street who've been incarcerated for 20, 30 years. And if they did not have this job, no telling what they would be doing on the streets.
sure, sure. And I think that it's really important for folks to, value the skills and experience of peers, of people that have lived experience in helping others.
You have to. That's the only way to really do it, Katrina, because they know what's out there. You
Yeah.
know, the guy who gets was sleeping on the streets 2 weeks ago, he know what's out there. The drug dealer that was just selling drugs 6 months ago, he know more about the trank. He knows more about the fentanyl than we do. So I have to take those individuals to allow them to teach us sometime before we go back and teach the community.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you talk a little bit perhaps about someone who you have helped come off of the street and who is now working for you? Can you tell us about a success
Don't do.
story?
You're gonna try to make me cry, Katrina, because I love my work, and I'm gonna say it briefly. Today, I actually was really proud. I had a guy that I got out of jail, and I got him on same day pay, $100. This guy makes over $60,000 a year now, and now we got to get him some more money because he's doing such a great job. Not only does he work for me, he went and got his son. His son is our auxiliary coordinator now as well. Not only that, I just found out through my wife, who was he was my best partner here at One Day at a Time. Without my wife, I'm nothing. That his teenage daughter just received a job at One Day at a Time. And he was one of the biggest drug dealers in the city of Philadelphia. And
Wow.
I'm proud of it. And I wish my dad would say we could have a conversation about it, because my dad would always tell me, man, I don't know how we gonna help this one. Well, Dad, it's happening because of you.
I love that. I love that. It's soul filling, the work that you're doing.
Mhm.
So with that, tell us how people can contribute to One Day at a Time. Do you guys utilize volunteers, and how could people donate resources to ODAAT?
Well, first of all, I guess pray for us. Pray that we could continue to do the work, keep up with the pace of the city and all the demands that are out there. You can go to odatphilly.org to donate. odatphilly.org. You can push on the link. You'll be able to donate. Or if you just want to volunteer, if you have a clearance, if your background check, you have to have that to be able to work with our youth. Your family could come in and work with our youth. Or if you just want to serve food for the day, you could come in and serve at one of our shelters. If you would like to ride out with our outreach team throughout the city of Philadelphia and areas like K&A, throughout other areas in Center City, to help individuals to provide clothing, socks, showers, or whatever, we need all the help we can get, and we welcome our volunteers.
Okay, thank you. And so we will definitely put the link to your donation page in the notes for this video. And really, I'm very inspired by the work that you do, and I'm sure that your parents are very proud of you. So thank you
Mm,
so much for
thank
being
you. Yeah, Katrina, I want to give a shout out to you. You were one of the first people I worked with over 20 something years ago
here.
that came into my mother, and I think my mother and father's home under Robert Hess as well. And you was patient for me when I get started out. And I was on the street just passing out condoms with the HIV and AIDS team. And now I'm the president and CEO because of people that were a part of the village like you. So thank you for what you do.
My pleasure. Thank you. Take care.
All right. Peace and blessings. Bye.